Welcome back. Well, when your child is struggling at school, it's heartbreaking, and you just want to do everything in your power as a parent to help your child get through it. Noelle Lepore knows that. Her son's struggles resulted in her turning to Dr. Robert Reynolds for help. Dr. Reynolds, Noelle, and her son Michael are all joining us. First of all, especially to you, Noelle, Michael, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story so parents can really feel empowered. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for letting us come and share our story.
Dr. Reynolds, I know that you say that the family actually showed up to you as a last resort. By this point, they had done other things, and they were feeling really desperate.
They were, and it had gone on for many years, as far back as Michael's kindergarten years. And they've been looking for help, and Noelle, to her credit, never gave up, but finally stumbled across my clinic a few months back, and things have started to go a lot better. But it's been a long journey, and she was quite articulate about it.
Yeah, so Noelle, tell me, what was going on? What did you first start noticing with your son in school?
Sure. So I think Michael was struggling socially. He was struggling with just the demands and the pressures of being in a confined environment. I think he had a lot of anxiety around that. He had struggle focusing and interacting with the other students, and just struggling to pull it all together. And we tried, medication. We tried other types of therapy, and nothing was really helping him.
Right, Michael. Well, you was 7th grade. You said you started really. What was that like?
Well, basically, I had a hard time focusing in class, and any piece of work that I got was just extremely overwhelming for some reason. I didn't understand it, and I didn't know what to do, so I got really overwhelmed in some of my classes, so I just got up and walked out, and that's that.
Right. And this can be so feeling that sense of hopelessness. You just want him to do well. So rather than the standard that I know often what happens is the medication. You said you tried that; it didn't necessarily work for you. Dr. Reynolds, when they came to you, what did you figure out?
Well, it was pretty clear to me that Michael was struggling with anxiety, some depression. He was at a point where he was just about ready to quit school at such a young age. And it would have been very sad because he's a very bright boy with lots of potential, and this was really eating away at Mom as well. So basically we did an assessment and realized after doing a brain map, which is a way to look at how well and how efficient his brain is functioning, realized that there were certain areas of his brain that were just not online like they should be. And so we started a neurofeedback protocol with him, in which we basically taught him how to manage his brain better, and as a result things started to improve. And I'd like you to hear what Michael has to say about that.
Yeah, so how did you like the neurofeedback?
I mean, I didn't really know if it would work at first, but after I want to say the first 2 or 3 sessions, I started to see a change, and I was less nervous about things. I was able to focus more in class. I was able to socialize a lot more, which I'm
He has a lot of really good.
Yeah. Now you're more social is what you're trying to say, right? That's good. And now you're 14, right? And what grade is that?
9th grade.
You're in 9th grade, so you've entered high school. So these are the really important years, Mom. And are you seeing that the improvements are lasting? What are you guys doing now that's still working?
So Michael is more engaged. He's more present. He's very well spoken. He would have probably put his head down and tried to disassociate from any type of social engagement with people. He's just such a really bright, talented, amazing, wonderful, warm kid. And
all of that was getting locked up because of the anxiety and the fears and the insecurities. Mom was saying just the other day when they decided to come on with me that Michael would not have done something like this.
Well, this is a big deal to come on TV and talk about a struggle like this you've overcome. So obviously it's helped. What do you think when going through the programs? Tell me what your week was like. How often were you there, and what helped you the most?
Well, normally we do 2 times a week, right? 1 or 2 times a week. And I mean, it's actually pretty fun. They put the things on your head and their focus and stuff.
It's almost like playing a video game, isn't it, right?
Yeah. And you wouldn't know if you didn't know anything about it and you didn't know what you're doing. You wouldn't think of it had any benefit at all. And I did, and it actually did. It had a very positive effect on me, and it helped me in a very positive way.
And your attitude towards school, I think, has gotten so much better because you're feeling competent.
You feel better, right?
I mean, there was a time there where you were telling me early on that you didn't even want to go to school.
Right, and you know, I was so overwhelmed with everything, and I just couldn't.
You're just retreating, pulling into yourself.
Right.
Mom, what about at home? Were there behavior challenges you were dealing with, and have you seen a difference there?
Absolutely. Absolutely. He in the past, he would just come home and just be reclusive and not really want to join any clubs or play any sports or even interact with his friends. And now he has friends over all the time. He's more open to any kind of activities or suggestions. He goes out and plays all kinds of activities with his friends.
Right.
He's excited about his life now.
And for you, I know a lot of the program also is about parental coaching. You as a mom, do you feel like you have different tools now? The way that you run things at home have changed?
I think it really was just about being compassionate and supportive and understanding and spending countless hours just, you know, asking him questions and being and listening to what he had to say. And those were ways that I could really try to understand what he was thinking and what he was feeling and what can we do, you know, to help.
As opposed to punishing.
Getting angry.
Yes. And, you know, it's understandable. Parents are under a lot of stress, too. But we try to help give them a different perspective. And that I believe that kids are doing the best they can. It may not look like that to you as a parent, but they are. And if we can get behind them instead of confronting them, things go so much better. And I think that's really the point that Mrs. Lepore is trying to make.
Well, thank you, all of you, for coming here. And in fact, if people are finding themselves in this story, if you want to hear more about neurofeedback, about the treatments that don't involve medication, Dr. Reynolds is doing an overview of his approach in a couple of upcoming seminars. One will be held next Wednesday night from 6:30 to 8:30. And if Saturdays are better for your schedule, Dr. Reynolds is also hosting one the morning of April 8th. Both are going to be in his offices in Middletown. So for more information on all of that, if you want some free information, it's reynoldsclinic.com. Thank you all for being here.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.